everybody. You're watching episode 16 of Tactical Tuesday. It's April 4th right now, and I'm on my way to another conference later today, at least here pretty soon. I've got multiple mics here. Anyway, we're going to talk about step 6 today, the proposal, the write-up, the worksheet, whatever you want to call it. It's when we're putting the buyer to paper. I've got 9 key points to cover with the write-up today, and make sure I've got that turned the right way there. What you're going to learn in this episode is going to change your income. It's going to change your life, your commissions, and you're going to learn why we write people up. 2, you're going to learn the value of the write-up in the sales process, when to write people up, why, 4, why I write everybody up, and 5th, the downside of writing everyone up, plus who you write up and the pitfalls of writing them up. You know, the husband that doesn't have his wife with him, the buyer that's in a hurry, the buyer that doesn't have their trade-in at the store. Do you ever run into anybody like that? We all run into those people. So should you still write them up? What if all the decision makers aren't in the dealership? We're going to answer that. Then 7, we're going to talk about the things that keep us from writing people up. You know, the excuses that we use to avoid the write-up. I've used them. We're also going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of asking for a commitment before we write somebody up. Is it a good idea too? Is it better to have a buying commitment or just assume that they'll buy it if the numbers are right? What is it? And 9, last, we're going to talk about the information that you need in order to write somebody up. What needs to be on the write-up? Number 1, what is a write-up? What's a write-up? We've got all these different names for write-ups. Mine right here, where the heck is it? It's called the quote book. The write-up. I guess I don't have it here. There's a Foursquare. There's the worksheet, cocktail napkin. You can use a blank piece of paper, whatever you want to call it. This is for the collection of information that enables you, that allows you to give detailed information back to the customer. In other words, a buyer gives you their name, their number, their trade info, maybe even their credit info in some stores. During the exchange, you give them a price, fees, trade value, down payment, terms, and payment options. Everything that I just mentioned allows them to make a buying decision. The write-up, that's the write-up. Now, without the write-up, you cannot deliver the motorcycle. You cannot deliver the side-by-side. You have to write the buyer up so they can take delivery. So what's the value of the write-up to the buyer? The value is that they're going to receive information to help them with their decision. They supply some information to you, name, number, address, trade info, and they get a price, fees, trade value, down payment, terms, and payment options. If they supply that to you, that's the value. So you've got to make sure, when a customer says, what's the write-up for, you got to make sure that you don't tell them it's just part of our process. Management requires it here. No, you tell them the value of the write-up. They give you some information, you're going to give them some detailed information back. If they decide they don't want to do it right now, no problem. At least they've got that information so they can think it over before they make their buying decision. So number 2, why write a buyer up? Remember this. People believe more of what they see versus what they hear. You need to remember that. People believe more of what they see versus what they hear. That's right. Some people walk into your dealership not intending to buy, but they see numbers in front of them, a proposal, and they decide to buy. That's why we write people up. Why else write a person up? Because it's the next step in the sales process. The final step is the sale. It's the delivery, and we can't get there without the write-up. So you're just trying to get another step in the process. Number 3, when should you write a person up? Anytime you want to make a sale, to close a deal. Of course, you do the write-up immediately following the demo, but the point here is to write a person up anytime you want to sell something. Number 4, why write somebody up? See number 3. Yeah, see number 3. It's because you want to sell them something, and it's the only way to sell something. Number 5. But of course, there's some downsides to writing everyone up. A, you're going to run into people that can't buy, right? Bad credit upside down in their trade. B, you'll waste more time with people that won't buy from you. And C, some people are going to take your numbers down the street to the other dealer, and they're going to buy from them. Those 3 things, they're going to happen to you by writing everybody up. Can't avoid that. Number 6. Let's see. The wife or husband that won't make decisions without the other. They're not together today. But seriously, when will they be together? Sunday? They're going to be together on Sunday? Do you work on Sunday? Why not just take your chances on writing the person up right now and taking that chance and they buy right now? How about the customer that doesn't have enough time? They've got a doctor's appointment, they've got a soccer game, they've got dinner to go to. Excuses. You ever have someone that was in a hurry? Yeah, should you write those people up? I've asked, or ask any of my old finance managers how many of my customers were in a hurry when I was new to selling, or even I was selling for 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? Yeah, all my customers were in a hurry. Everyone's in a hurry. Deal with it and become a pro. Number 7, let's go over the excuses that we have to keep us from writing people up. We've got a lot of excuses that we use. The biggest excuse out there, now see if you use any of these, but before I say it, have you got it figured out? Number 1, they're just shopping. Why write them up? They're just shopping. Not ready to buy yet. I had a dealer just last week that asked me about that one. He said if we write everybody up that hasn't committed to buying today, then they'll just take our prices down the street like it's a ticket to buy at the other dealership. Yeah, there's that chance of happening. But what if they buy from you? It's like he thought it's like a ticket to buy at the other dealer. So I had him do the math. You're closing 25% of your traffic. He's selling 50 units a month after talking to 200 people. He writes up roughly 100 people a month. What if he wrote up 150 people a month? I guarantee that he's going to end up selling an extra 10 bikes. I'd rather write up 150 and sell 60 bikes than write up 100 and sell 50. That's what makes me feel better. See what I mean? Write-ups equal sales. The more you write, the more you sell. The second biggest excuse, they're upside down in their trade. So what? So what are you saying? Is they might need some money down to get out of their trade? That's what happens with something like that. There's still people out there that have money down. Right now it's tax time. People are getting tax refunds. They're getting bonuses. They know they're upside down, and it's okay when they come in. Get them on paper. The biggest excuse is not thinking they'll get bought. Bad credit, upside down, too young, short time on the job, dressed poorly. They just don't look like they can do it. Number 4, and this one happens a lot in some dealerships. This is the biggest reason for not writing someone up. They won't pay enough. They shop. I see this one quite a bit. They shopped a wholesaling dealer that gave a price we're not going to beat. How do you know that? If anyone watching this video says that a manager in their store or their dealer says that they're not beating some other dealer's price, or we're not taking a loss on our machines, then have them come over and watch this. I see that once in a while. Don't advertise it to your salespeople that you're not doing it. Get the customer written up. When a manager or dealer says this over and over to their salespeople, then the salespeople start to believe that we can never beat the competition. We can't beat that other dealer's price. Don't taint your deals. If you believe that a customer won't pay more to you for the same unit that they can get at another dealer for a lower price, then it's time to go back to step 4. What's that? The presentation. What do you do during the presentation? Build value, right? Number 5, no time. The buyer has a doctor's appointment to get to. Got to go to dinner, got to go to lunch, got a ball game, more excuses. Write them up. The last excuse that I'm going to share, number 6, trade-in isn't here. So what? How long has your manager been doing appraisals? Long enough that they should know the average trade, what the average trade is going to look like. You really need to see it to come to an agreement. Do a sight unseen appraisal. This is all to get the write-up. Subject to seeing the trade. Subject to the trade being in the condition the customer says it's in. Do the write-up. Do a sight unseen appraisal. Now, some people are saying, but customers lie about their trades. Another excuse. That's all that is. Back to the write-up now. Number 8. Is it better to have a commitment to buy before the write-up, or is it better to just assume that they'll all buy if the figures are right? Now, I'm not going to ask a yes/no question when it comes to writing someone up. That way, I just reduced my chances of getting a no. So I don't ask them, would you like to write this up? Remember, this is a smooth transition from the demo step to the write-up step. I don't want a no. I've already done a trial close or closes. I've done that. So I know what my customer's thinking as far as buying go. I know what they're thinking from my trial closes. And I just say, let's go get some figures. I'm not going to ask them, if I had the perfect figures, would you buy it right now? What are they going to say? A lot of them are going to say no, then I can't write it up. I might get a no. Here's another thing to think about. Remember that I'm trying to move from one step to the next. That's all I'm trying to do. Get closer to the close. I just did my demo, and I used the word demo pretty loosely. In the car business, demo means drive the car. In the bike business, a lot of dealers don't or can't demo everything. So demo to some of us might mean just sit on the bike, sit on the frickin' bike. They have to sit on the bike. Have to. So right after the demo, and they're sitting on it, I'm going to have them pull it over into the sold lane. That's a trial close. If they move it over into the sold lane, then it means what? They want it. But I'm not going to ask them at this point, do you want to buy it right now? Because what are they going to say? A lot of them are going to say no. I'm going to assume that they want to buy it right now. But I have to use those trial closes, the registration close, the sold lane close. Now, if they don't pull it into the sold lane, then you still don't ask them if they want to buy it right now. You still just say, let's go get some figures. That's what you do. But you tried with your trial close. So the answer for number 8 is it better to assume they'll take it home when transitioning over to the write-up? Yeah, it is. Don't ask for a commitment before the write-up. Number 9, what information do you need before you write somebody up? To write somebody up, what do you need? You've got to have their, you got to have the right attitude. You're never going to become a top performer with the wrong attitude. So number 1, you got to have the right attitude. Next, you need the stock number, the year, the make, model, color, and maybe accessories that they want. If they have a trade, you need the same info, right? Got to have year, make, model, VIN, and miles. Now, you also need some skills too. Skills to overcome objections. You're going to get objections. Your customers, they're all going to have the same objections during the write-up. The objections don't really get any different. Now, what are they going to say? They're going to tell you, I've got to talk to my wife. It's too expensive. I need to save up my down payment. Trade value, it's not enough. So you need to know how to overcome the most common objections that there are out there. Now, here's one more thing that you need in order to write someone up. Give them an out. They need an out. As you're transitioning from the demo to the write-up, your buyer is transitioning from one emotion to another. As soon as you move from the demo to showing figures, they're going from excitement to rationalizing this. They were excited, but now they're getting real. Some of your people might say, or some of you, yeah, I didn't say I was buying this today. So put them at ease and give them an out. You know what? If the figures didn't make sense, I wouldn't do it either. But at least you'll have some figures to look at and to think about. Have a seat right there. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. They've got it now. You just watched episode 16 of Tactical Tuesday. I am really glad that y'all tuned in and hope to see you next week for more. Don't forget to like me on Facebook. Go to one of my conferences or bring us into your dealership for some specialized training. And this video is about over now. If you like this video, do me a favor and hit like. Just tap that, put that little hand over the like button and hit that. And I appreciate you guys, and we will see you next week.